Hey guys, welcome back to Human Condition. This video is another video in our philosophy series, sorta. This is one of the different types of time travel. I guess it's sort of philosophy in a way. So in this video, I'm talking about 6 different types of time travel, 5 or 6 different types of time travel, and how we see those in movies. And so it should be a pretty interesting one. For chill one, I just figured I'd spice things up with a new topic about time travel, which is pretty cool. So yeah, starting off with number 1. Number 1 is one timeline theory, I call it, or also known as the mutable timeline. This is the cool time travel we see like in Back to the Future and movies like that, where a person goes back in time, they can change the future, but it causes paradox. For example, like this would be the type if you went back in time to a time when you were younger, there'd be 2 versions of you, basically. And everything you do could change the future. However, you'd be constantly living with the second version of yourself. This one out of the 6, if I'm being honest, is not one of my favorites because you have to deal with the second version of yourself. So if you wanted to like change stuff, you'd have to kind of talk it out with them, the past version of you, and it would just not be as tough as the other versions, in my opinion. You always send that version to the future. But yeah, so there's that the first time travel type. Number 2 is multiple worlds theory. This is a pretty cool one, a pretty popular one. You see in Marvel Studios, Endgame, Avengers. This is the theory that this is one of my top 2 favorite ones. That there's 2 parallel universes, and when we go back in time, if we were able to go back in time, we create a new parallel universe. So you'd be changing that universe's reality rather than our own reality. So that's kind of cool if you think about it, because you won't actually be affecting your future reality, but you'll be affecting the past reality. And this is one of my favorite ones because I was thinking about this one day. I was chilling, vibing, and I was like, it'd be so tough if I go back to like the version of me 4 years, switch places with them, and be like, sup, broski, let's switch places, and then you and your 4 years ago self, or 2 year, 3 year, would be at an advantage because you would know everything that's happened, so you kind of like just vibe and like change the past basically, and your future self would get the bad end of the deal, but you wouldn't tell them that, and they'd travel to the future 4 years, but they'd have some benefits of energy and youth to help deal with the responsibilities your future self has, which I thought was kind of cool. I was like, that's kind of cool. Imagine like just doing like a cool, if you could time travel, doing like a cool swap with your past version yourself. I feel like that'd be kind of tough, you know. So this is probably one of my second top favorite forms of time travel. Also, if I forget any time travel theories that you would like, types that you're thinking of, let me know down below if there's one I forgot. My bad. I'm doing like 5 or 6 different types. I can't remember all of them though. So yeah. The third one is memory travel. This one's not talked a lot about. This would be the idea I was thinking one day. Wouldn't it be cool? You could send your consciousness to become the past version of yourself. Basically sending your future self. This would be jumping back into your past version of yourself. Memory wise, there's 2, the 4 types, the 5 types I'm talking about. There's 2 different versions of this. One negative, one positive. Starting off with the negative, the memory loop jump, I call it. I guess that's a good word. I forgot what I called it, but the memory loop jump, I guess you could call it. It's basically when you jump back in time to a past version of yourself, and you remember the future, and you try to change things and jump into your past version of yourself. However, you slowly forget the future or you completely forget it because how can you remember something that didn't happen yet if you become your past version of yourself, you know? So that's the memory loop jump, I guess you call it. This is probably one of the worst ones because you're stuck in a constant loop of jumping back in time to change something that you can never change. So that one's not pretty tough. That's the third time travel type or theory. And it's like you jump back in time, you want to change something, you forget what you want to change, you jump back in time again, over and over and over, in a constant memory loop or memory time loop. Kind of tough, but not really though. 4th types of time travel out of the 5 that I'm talking about in this video, I forgot to mention the memory consciousness transfer type is not really seen a lot in TV and shows and fiction and narratives. However, I guess the best show example would be called Quantum Leap. It's a pretty tough show, pretty cool show, where the main character goes back in time with his mind and jumps into other people's bodies from the past. But it's a little different from the one we're talking about in this video, just because he's not jumping into the past version himself, but other people. But still a pretty good show. I think my last one, I had 6, but I kind of forgot what the 6th one was. The 5th type is the bootstrap paradox. I talked about this one briefly in another video, but basically this is the one that's kind of like a loop 2. Everything has already happened, so you going back in time, even if you wanted to, was already written. So if you go back in time to change something, you inevitably will not be able to change it, or you're the sole cause of this change. So this is kind of like a time loop one as well. This is one of my favorite ones just because it's interesting, but my top 2, if I was actually like being able to time travel some crazy way, would be multiple worlds or the memory consciousness. But this one would be, you go back in time to change something and everything gets in your way to change it, or you end up causing what you're trying to change, and then you can jump back. Without even you jumping back to your present was already planned out anyway. This goes ahead with the block theory form of time travel. Works, bootstrap and block theory go hand in hand. This is the past, the future, and the present are all happening at the same time, which is pretty cool. And for 5, a good TV show that represents this type of time travel is a show called Dark that I recently watched. Kind of goes off block theory, the past, present, and future all happen at the same time. It's a pretty tough show, and that's a good representation of the bootstrap paradox. So yeah. So in conclusion, the 5 types of time travel are, number 1, the one timeline or mutable timeline, the one where Back to the Future is present and you can change the past. And if you go back to a past where there's another, you're alive, there'd be 2 versions of you existing at the same time to change the past. Second one is the many worlds interpretation or multiple reality time travel, where you go back to a past reality and it changes the future of that reality, but not the future reality that you were originally from. Doesn't change. The third one and fourth one, it's kind of similar. The consciousness time travel, where you travel back in time with your memories in mind. The third one, you get stuck in a time loop because you forget the future because it hasn't happened yet, so you get stuck in a memory time loop. And the fourth one, you remember the future somehow, and can change the past with your future knowledge. And then the 5th type, the final type, the bootstrap paradox. The past goes off block theory. The past, present, and future are all written. So if you go back in time, it was already written to happen, meaning you can't change something that was already meant to happen. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like my new glasses. Hopefully I don't look too nerdy with the new glasses. But as always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.